Hey, you guys, this should be interesting. I'll be so glad when I someday have a nice way to record myself. This is just a quick little September educational video like I promised I would do once a month. And so today I want to talk really quickly about Lead the Way miles, time you're spending on your business, a little bit about handling PCs, and a little bit about closing. And let me turn this and see if that's maybe a little better. Well, I have no idea if that will be sideways when you watch it or not, but we'll see. Okay, so let's start with actually hours. Let's go to Lead the Way last. You know, I know everybody's back at work and you're busy with your other job, but I want you to think a minute about something. If you're not reaching your goals, if your paycheck isn't where you'd like it to be. And I didn't make this up. I heard it at a training one time and it really stuck with me. And what she said was this. She said, take a note card and on the left side of the note card, write down the lowest paying job you've ever had and how many hours a week you worked at it. And then in the middle of the paper, write what your salary is now and how many hours a week you work at that job. And then if you're saying you want to make, let's say you're saying you want to make $10,000 a month. So that would mean $2,500 a week, okay? And your hours on that will be blank. Well, when you look at that comparison, if you're a good mathematician, you should be able to figure out pretty easily that the number of hours that you work is proportionate to the salary that you make. So like for teachers, for example, when I quit teaching school, my paycheck was like $2,300 a month take home. And I basically got to work every day at 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on the school. And then I left at somewhere between 3:30 and 5:30 every day, depending on what was going on. So think about that. I mean, think hard about that and look at where you want to be. If you even are just wanting to replace the salary that you're making, say you don't want to make $10,000 a month, say you're wanting to make $3,000 a month. Well, at the job you're at now, if you're making $3,000 a month, how many hours a week do you work there? 40? Okay, so think about that. Just try to kind of wrap your brain around that so you'll know that if you really want to make this a business that's going to make you a living, you're going to have to treat it like a business and put some time into it. So that's just something that I wanted to touch base on. Another thing that I wanted to touch base on a little bit, I had one of my PCs kind of complaining about something that she didn't understand. She was trying to do her own order, which I don't have a lot of PCs that do that, but she had put some things in her basket and she couldn't figure out how to make it process. Well, she was pretty frustrated by the time she finally messaged me because, like I say, she's one of two of my PCs that handle their own account. And so when she finally reached me, I said, all you have to do is email Priority Services or you can call. And I said, but I can even do that for you. And so I did. And her frustration level made me remember that is exactly why I maintain, or I offer to maintain, all of my PC accounts. Because if you don't do that, you're going to have PCs frustrated. You're going to have them wanting to close their account if they get too frustrated, which is crazy to me, but you'll have people do it. So I just wanted to remind you again, I think the reason that I retain so many PCs and the reason that I get so many referrals is because I take care of my PCs and I handle their accounts for them. I never, ever, ever, let me say that again, ever, 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 ever tell a PC to call corporate. Ever. I call corporate first and three-way them in after I'm done holding. That's just my practice, and you may not have time to do that, or you may not want to do that, but I'll tell you, it really makes a difference in the long run, because lots of times, think about it, your PCs, they don't know what's going on. Their account is the only one that they manage, where you manage lots of accounts, and so you understand what's going on and what you have to do to take care of things. So my advice is take as much care of your PCs as they will let you, and do not tell a PC to call corporate. That's just not good business, okay? So try to take as good a care of them as you can. Another thing I wanted to talk just a minute about was closing. I've had several messages lately and I remember this was one of my hardest things to get my head around, was closing with people. I could get people interested, they'd have questions, they'd do the solution tool, but then I had trouble closing with them. And so I wanted to just give you a little bit of verbiage, and what I was hoping to do today was actually make a little video of me practicing doing a closing, but I didn't get that done, and so I'm just going to try to kind of give you some things that you might say to objections. I think the objection we always hear is it's too expensive, and so now, myself, I used to look like a deer in the headlights when they would say that to me, because I didn't have the verbiage, I didn't know what to say. So it's a learned task. But what I say now is, I understand, because you always want to affirm their complaint. You want to recognize their complaint and sympathize with them. And so I would say, I thought it was, I understand what you're saying. I thought it was expensive too when I started using it, but I found that if I break it down on a daily basis, it actually costs less than $3 a day to use any of these regimens. The most expensive one, the Redefine and the Roller and all, it costs less than $3 a day. Here comes Abby, so my video may get noisy. And so if you break it down that way for them, oftentimes that takes care of it. Now, if it doesn't, then you can say, well, I got to thinking, what do I spend $3 a day on that I could do without? I drive through Starbucks often. I stop at Quick Trip or whatever to get a drink. So kind of think that way a little bit of, with them and brainstorm. And depending on, some people you couldn't talk to like that. They'd get offended. But you have a feel for your customer. You've had a conversation with them, so you probably know what you can say. And so then the other thing that you could do is you could say, if they absolutely say they can't afford a regimen, then you could say, well, you know what? I understand. How about this? Let's get you started with the eye cloths and the eye cream. That's a great way to get started with Rodan & Fields. Even with your PC sign-up fee, it's right around $100, so it's affordable. The eye cream will last you 4 to 6 months, and the eye cloths, I cut mine in half, so they'll last you 60 days. Let's do that, and then just give them a minute. Silence is okay, and they always say the first one who speaks loses. So give them a minute. Don't offer to pay their PC fee. Don't offer some kind of discount. Just give them a minute to think about it. Hi, Abby. Give them a minute to think about it and see what they say. Now, another thing they might say is, I'd love to try it, but I just bought a bunch of whatever, Mary Kay, Avon, whatever. And what I say to that is, okay, well, how's that? Are you happy with that? How's that working for you? And that's kind of another thing you can have them think on. But I always try to sell them something. If it's not a regimen, it'll be the eye cloth and the eye cream. And if they, if they absolutely can't do that, then it is what it is. But the money is the big thing. That's the objection you always get, seems like. The other thing that you might hear sometimes is, I only use all natural products. And this is what I say to that. Well, all natural feels great on your skin. I get that. I would agree with you there. But I found that all natural would kind of help maintain my skin, but it wouldn't make changes. So if you're talking about repairing sun damage, or if you're talking about taking care of wrinkles, sensitive skin, all of those kind of things, you're going to have to go to a premium skincare line that is pretty close to prescription grade, and we actually have that. I think my video is going downhill here. But those are just some ideas to help you with closing. And we, honestly, we could maybe do a call sometime on closing and practice answering some objections, but those are just kind of some ideas. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Lead the Way, because I had another training call with Meredith Wiersma from corporate. She's helping me right now as my coach, and we talked a lot about Lead the Way, Miles, and she talked about how you can get so overrun with all of the challenges that people have out there on their pages. And so one thing that you can always focus on is Lead the Way, even if that's the only program you do. I last summer focused on nothing but Lead the Way. I didn't do any other challenges or incentives, and I won a lot of stuff, and it was a great summer. So let me show you what I have here for Lead the Way. Now, our new Lead the Way started in August 1st, and it ends January 31st. So you've got 6 full months to earn miles, and when you're new, your 0 month, your first and second month, you get double miles. So it's a great time to get started with those. I know some of our new consultants really did well with that. To get any miles are for sales and sponsoring, and a PC order is a way to get miles, and sponsoring consultants and also face washers are ways to get miles. Now, PC orders can be new PC orders, or they can be existing PCs that place an order, either one. To get any miles, you have to have at least 10 PC orders. So if you have 1 through 9, you don't get any points or miles. But as soon as you get 10, then you get 2 miles. Once you reach the threshold of 10, every 5 orders after that is 1 mile. So if you had 15 PC orders in a month, you'd have 3 miles. Okay? If you had 20, you'd have 4 miles. That's how that works. Consultants, there's a threshold on that too. You have to have at least 2 consultants, and you get 2 miles. I said points, but I meant miles. And then after you reach that threshold, for every consultant or face washer that you sign after that, you get a mile or a point, however you want to look at it. So let's say that you decide that you want to go for the gold, and you want all the Lead the Way mile gifts all the way up to the top gift, which is a all expenses paid trip for 2. So you would need 60 miles is how much you need for that. So you've got 6 months. So I would take the 60, divide it by 6 months, and you need 10 miles each month. Now, if you didn't make it the first month, you make more the next month. But so you would always know that you have to have at least 10 PC orders and 2 consultants to get any miles. So a way that you could get 10 miles would be to have, you could sign, let's say you signed 2 consultants, so that's 2 points. So to get 8 points, you would need, 10 PC orders would get you 2, 15 would get you 3, 20 would get you 4, 25 would get you 5, 30 would get you 6, 35 would get you 7, 40 would get you 8 miles, and your 2 consultants. Now that sounds like a lot, and it is, but it's totally doable. I've seen people do it. I've gotten 10 points or 10 miles in a month myself, so it's totally doable, because remember, a PC order can be an existing PC's order or a new PC order. So it's totally doable. And if you're not plugging into this system because you don't understand it, let me know, or let your sponsor know, so that we can help. And I do want to say that these next few days are crazy for me, because it's Indian Summer Weekend, and I help with a nonprofit festival here in Bartlesville. And I'm thinking to myself this year, why am I doing this again? Because I really don't have time. But this is the 29th year for the festival. Just a minute, sweetheart. And we have about 15 to 17,000 people come through, and I actually coordinate the whole thing. So the setup starts tomorrow. It ends late Saturday night, and then cleanup is Sunday. I will go. I am going to the training in Tulsa, though, the corporate training. If you haven't registered for that, please do that. If you're within driving distance, and to me, within driving distance is 2 or 3 hours. This is the last time that corporate's going to be in Tulsa. This year, the training is $25, and it's going to be really, really good stuff. So if you haven't registered and you need the link, let me know. And I hope I said some things that will help you. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.